should Yosh. Welcome back to the Rubbish Heap, everybody. Puzzle games to some people is a genre which makes their heart sink. But not me. I love them, and there's a hell of a lot of them on the Game Boy. So how does Pokémon de Panepon, or Pokémon Puzzle Challenge, as it was known outside of Japan, stack up against the other well-based puzzle games? Oh, I love that joke. Ooh, just me then. I wanted to cover this game as my first review on a Rubbish Heap because it has a neat hidden secret. Because even though it's a Game Boy Color only game, for fans of the original black and white Game Boy series, I've got a little something to let you in on. If you have played Tetris Attack on a Super Nintendo or Game Boy, then Pokémon de Panepon is that very game. But compared to the Game Boy version of Tetris Attack or Yoshi or Panepon, as it was in Japan, it offers a better experience. The basic game mechanic is that blocks are different designed right in the bottom of the well, slowly at first, but gradually peaking up speed at higher difficulty levels. To clear these blocks, you need to connect at least 3 of the same matching block designs horizontally or vertically. If, however, the blocks stack up to the top of the well, it's game over. So far, so very Tetris. The true lack of Pokémon de Panepon is to connect 4 or more blocks, causing the rise of the world to pause momentarily. This is the secret to clearing the higher level stages, as speed alone will not do it. Pokémon de Panepon has many play modes, so here's the summary. Beyond the simple endless and score attack modes, this game offers versus computer play, stage player modes, puzzle modes, and Ojama mode, or garbage mode, where obstructions increase the difficulty. On top of all of that, you have the 2-player mode when using the link cable, though that requires 2 Game Boys and 2 copies of the game naturally. The puzzle mode is my personal favourite, starting very simple, but before the need to clear the well in a fixed amount of moves becomes a real brain-taxing challenge, and this can help you learn advanced playing methods for better scores and advancing through the more difficult levels of the stage clear or versus computer modes. The Pokémon connection isn't just cosmetic as well. By completing certain challenges, you can unlock Pokémon to play with. For example, one set of challenges is to create a certain block count before facing Claire in the versus computer mode. Do so, and this will prompt a battle against Gentleman, Beauty, and many other gym leaders. Beat them, and you can unlock Pikachu and many other characters. This is a neat addition, and the whole flow of facing off against gym leaders and their Pokémon feels well integrated rather than just being a simple reskin like Tetris Attack already was. Overall, Pokémon de Panepon on the Game Boy Color is an addictive game that has plenty of content to keep you engaged and keeps you hooked on it like the original Tetris did. It's a real downgrade compared to the Super Famicom Panepon or the Nintendo 64 Pokémon Puzzle League is the size of the well. Being not quite as tall, it can make it a bit more of a challenge at advanced levels, but it never works against the gameplay completely. I rate this game as good or 3 stars out of 5. It's not rated as great because, as you will see on this channel, there are other Game Boy games that really do something a little bit special to receive that grade, and it's not an all-time classic like Tetris is. But what you do have here is a solid puzzle game that will entertain you for hours on end and is well worth picking up. And as for picking up, how is the Japanese version? After all, it is cheaper. Well, I rate the Japanese language level in this game as beginner. See the video description and my first video for the breakdown of what that means. But in short, the various play modes are accessed through Japanese hiragana and katakana. Being able to read this will make the game easier to access, but on Patreon I have posted a translation of the menus for those who can't read Japanese. Even then, trial and error is simple enough with no Japanese knowledge. The font is easy enough to read, and you can read at your own pace without dialogue disappearing too quickly. There is also no kanji in this game. There are some cutscenes with Japanese in them, but whilst it is easy to understand, for those learning the language, it isn't likely to stretch you. But that said, if you're only just starting to learn Japanese, this is a great game to start with, as there is definitely a level of accomplishment to be gained from navigating the Japanese in this game, so go for it. You need that sense of accomplishment to sustain your learning. Last, the secret this game holds for the original black and white Game Boy. Oh man, this is so awesome! This will work right away on a Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Light or Super Game Boy, but will need some modifications to the game physically to fit in an original DNG Game Boy due to the cartridge lock mechanism. The simplest way for this to work on the original DNG is to place your Pokémon Panepon game into a standard Game Boy game shell, or of course, an EverDrive or similar. Once the cartridge is inserted into the Game Boy and powered on, at the message stating that this game is only for Game Boy Color, press the A button 24 times until you hear a chime, then press the B button 24 times until a second chime sounds, and then press start. A cut-down version of Panepon is playable on the original Game Boy series. How awesome is that? Admittedly, only the endless and garbage modes are available to play, but it's really rad. Certainly, I enjoy this little secret. So that's Pokémon de Panepon for the Game Boy Color. What do you think of this game? Have you picked up the Japanese version? How was it? Or have you only played the Western release? And tell me what your favourite Game Boy puzzler is as well. That would be really awesome to hear. Anyway, as always, like, subscribe and all of that shit. And also check out this rare Rubbish Heap merch that I've created, available worldwide on Redbubble and Amazon. See the links below in the video description. Anyway, that's it for this one. I've been Saki Endo, and this has been a Rubbish Heap. Ja ne ne.
GameBoy Color。君たちちょっと失敬。ポケモンでパズルゲーム。
アクティブ連鎖で一発大逆転。ゲームボーイカラー専用ソフトポケモンでパネポン。
恐るべし。アクティブレーサー。